Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking all that dry, essential safety data and transforming it into a straightforward guide on workplace foot protection. And to show you how these engineering principles actually work out there in the real world, we'll be looking at some gold standard examples, like Red Wing safety shoes. Let's get into it. All right, I want to start off with a pretty massive, honestly sobering number. 60,000. That's the approximate number of workplace foot injuries that sideline American workers every single year. To put that into perspective, we aren't just talking about a stubbed toe here. We're talking about the human scale of those 60,000 injuries. Everything from crushed toes from dropped equipment to nasty puncture wounds from stray nails or, slipping on a greasy warehouse floor and ending up in the ER. The craziest part? Most of these injuries are entirely preventable if you're just wearing the right pair of shoes. But as you probably know, picking the right safety footwear, it's not as simple as grabbing the first steel-toe boot you see on the shelf. So here is our visual roadmap for this explainer today. We're going to systematically decode this whole topic. We'll start with the crucial role of footwear, decode those protective features, understand ASTM safety ratings, look at the benefits of protection, and finally wrap up with care and maintenance. All right, Section 1, the crucial role of footwear. We're going to see why this gear is way more than just a mandatory part of your daily uniform. Okay, so the absolute most crucial thing to remember here is that OSHA compliance is not optional. Providing appropriate safety footwear based on a real hazard assessment is a strict federal mandate. It's not just some nice little optional perk your employer offers. Employers have a legal obligation to assess workplace hazards and provide the right PPE to protect workers from preventable harm. And actually, workplaces that take this seriously, the ones with comprehensive safety footwear programs, they see measurably lower accident rates and just a much better overall safety culture. Now look at the engineered anatomy of a modern safety shoe. It's like a highly technical, wearable shield. You've got features like reinforced toe caps and shock-absorbing midsoles that create a literal barrier between your vulnerable feet and the absolute chaos of a job site. It's way more than just slapping some thick leather over your foot. These boots are engineered to intercept threats before they ever reach your skin. They literally transform what could be a career-ending accident into a minor, hey, let's shake it off kind of incident. Which brings us right into Section 2, decoding protective features. Let's break down the literal arsenal you're wearing on your feet. If we look closely at this cross-section of steel, composite, and alloy toe caps, you'll see this is where the science of impact and compression protection truly begins. Not all safety footwear is created equal, right? Understanding these exact technical differences is what helps you make a truly informed decision that matches the specific hazards you're dealing with. And there are definitely some distinct trade-offs here. On one hand, steel toes offer that proven heavy-duty impact protection. We're talking serious force resistance, but they definitely add some noticeable weight to your step. On the other hand, composite materials like Kevlar or carbon fiber, they sacrifice a tiny bit of that traditional, rugged feel to save weight. Plus, they're non-conductive and they can even pass straight through metal detectors. That's an absolute game changer if you're working in electrical utilities or dealing with airport security screening every day. Now you can see all this advanced engineering come together flawlessly in a premium boot like the Red Wing Dynaforce 4404. This boot rocks lightweight alloy toes, which actually cuts the overall boot weight down by up to 30% compared to steel. 30%! And you aren't giving up that essential impact resistance. Add in the electrical hazard protection and the specialized, breathable, waterproof construction, and you've got a barrier literally built for the harshest weather and the most demanding environments out there. But you always have to match the tool to the task. Matching footwear capabilities to documented workplace hazards is key. For example, a light-duty hospitality worker or a healthcare professional hustling down slick hospital hallways, they might want something like the Red Wing Comfort Pro 8712. Why? Because it offers slip resistance, static dissipative properties, and a soft toe, rather than lugging around a heavy construction boot. It's all about prioritizing mobility and traction when heavy impact just isn't your primary risk. All right, moving right along to Section 3, understanding ASTM safety ratings. Let's demystify the alphabet soup you see on the inside tag of your boots. So, decoding ASTM F2413. If you want to make an evidence-based decision about your safety, you absolutely have to understand these codes. Every single piece of safety footwear sold in the US has to comply with this standard. I mean, don't rely on marketing fluff when you can literally just read the tag. Look for I-75 for impact protection up to 75 foot-pounds, C-75 for compression resistance up to 2,500 pounds, EH for electrical hazard resistance up to 18,000 volts, or PR for puncture resistance. That is how you guarantee your own safety. Now, thankfully, these complex ASTM codes are usually translated into clear, recognizable hazard icons on the boot itself. Seeing exactly how a heavyweight interacts with the toe, or spotting an electrical icon that denotes ground protection, well, that instantly connects the documented safety requirements of your specific job site to the exact pair of shoes you're holding in your hands. So, Section 4, the benefits of protection. Let's go beyond the basics and look at the real, long-term benefits of making this crucial investment. We talk a lot about falling objects, but beyond just stopping heavy impacts, these embedded puncture-resistant midsoles are your absolute best friend. They are the ultimate safeguard against stray nails, metal shavings, and all the sharp debris that literally litters industrial floors. A quality safety shoe creates a comprehensive, impenetrable shield underneath your foot, massively reducing the risk of devastating puncture wounds that can lead to some really severe infections down the line. And we have to talk about slip-resistant outsoles because they have this incredible, almost hidden trickle-down effect on your overall health. By using heavily engineered tread patterns to channel away liquids, they don't just prevent catastrophic falls on an oil-slicked rig or a wet commercial kitchen floor. That added stability literally reduces daily fatigue and chronic back pain over the span of a long career. Think about it. When you aren't constantly fighting just to keep your balance, your posture naturally improves and your concentration stays razor-sharp for your entire shift. Finally, we arrived at our last section today, Section 5, Care and Maintenance, the daily upkeep. Okay, so maintaining this gear actually starts with a super simple daily cleaning routine. Step 1, always use warm water and a mild soap right after each shift. Step 2, and this is a big one, you have to resist the urge to use those harsh industrial chemicals you find on site. I know it's tempting, but they will aggressively degrade the leather fibers and ruin the adhesive bonds. And step 3, carefully scrub any debris out of the tread patterns and seams. If mud and grime just build up in there, you are going to lose your traction and totally compromise the waterproof integrity of the boot. Now, take a look at the danger of heat drying versus natural air drying. There is a very stark contrast here. Leaving your boots next to a blazing radiator causes catastrophic damage. I mean, excessive heat makes the leather brittle, it causes deep cracks, it accelerates the breakdown of the waterproof membranes, and it can literally warp the composite materials inside your toe caps. No way you want that. Always, always let your shoes air dry naturally in a well-ventilated space. And lastly, for sure, do not forget to condition the leather. Utilizing specialized products like Red Wing's mink oil for a deep condition or their all-natural leather conditioner made with beeswax is absolutely crucial for preventing those cracks. Leather naturally loses its essential oils over time, right? So conditioning it brings back that flexibility you need for comfortable all-day wear. Plus, it maintains that vital moisture resistance against all the elements, the mud, and the drilling fluids you're bound to run into out there. So, before we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Are your boots truly rated for the hazards you face today, or are you just hoping for the best? Seriously, when was the last time you actually checked your own boots' ASTM tags to ensure they match the hazards you face on the job every single day? Take just a moment before your next shift to inspect your gear, because understanding your footwear isn't just about ticking a compliance box, it's about making sure you walk away safe at the end of every single shift.